Men can't believe that women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
The only reason is that he wants to get it over with so that you are finally quiet.
If you're a man and you divorce, the outcome usually favors women massively.
So I've seen, stay-at-home moms who, in the middle of a courtroom, throw something at their spouse.
Mom does not feel that way about you.
Men can't believe that women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
Dear Jesus, did you hear what she said?
Unfortunately, yes. She's talking absolute doo-doo.
All in our I know they break it down.
When a man comes home from work, there's only one thing he really wants. He wants to have a little bit of peace and quiet. And if you have something you want to discuss with him and all day you've been waiting for him to finally come home, please wait a little bit. Because there's one thing many women don't understand about men. Men are supposed to solve problems. All day and every day they have to go out into the world and do their best to make money, because otherwise they're being seen as a loser.
Can you imagine only being valued for what you provide?
Men also get tired, and if they just go from problems at work to problems at home, they never get a break. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't share any problems with him, but what you could do as a woman is to wait at the door, give him a kiss, ask him how his day was, let him unwind, prepare him a drink, and start talking to him after half an hour. When you do that, you make him feel better about himself, because you give him space to relax and to just think of nothing if he wants to.
True.
Because the last thing you want is to bombard him at the door already with everything that's been happening and that you need his help, and he will probably try to solve it for you. But the only reason is that he wants to get it over with so that you are finally quiet.
To keep things simple, it's good that ladies remember that when a man comes home, what he'll really appreciate is food, bedroom fun, and silence.
That's right.
Don't be carpet bombing him with foolishness as soon as he comes through the door.
I mean that.
Why aren't men getting married?
It's a raw deal. The benefits are heavily outweighed by the dangers and the risks. If you're a man and you divorce, the outcome usually favors women massively. You can end up losing your home, half of your pension, half of your wealth. You can end up not seeing your children. And studies have shown that men are more adversely mentally affected by divorce than women.
I mean, he sums things up perfectly. If you're afraid of loneliness, or poverty, it seems, don't get married. Marry well, and you might be happy. Marry badly, and you'll become a philosopher.
You also say that if a woman gets pregnant for a career choice, and I think that you have used the words that women do get pregnant for career choices, that's what they want to do, that if you were the guy and that you didn't approve or you didn't okay that pregnancy, and you use a term, I didn't like it actually when I read it, was financial abortion, I think you said. I didn't like that, but what that means is that you can say, right, okay, I had nothing to do with this, I didn't ask for it, you've surprised me with it, I've got nothing to do with it, I won't support it.
Imagine Philip Schofield acting self-righteous.
Pathetic.
And yes, we have limited to no paternal rights.
That's right.
Let me ask you this. If the man's against having the child, should he be legally responsible? Is he ethically and morally bound to provide?
Not really, no.
When it comes to power, although the illusion is that men have all the power, actually when it comes to kind of personal relationships and relationships between the sexes, women have most of the power.
That's true as well, but obviously babies are made by two people, so shouldn't men just use contraception?
Just man up. Well, unfortunately, women have the lion's share of contraceptive choices, and once a woman is pregnant, of course, the man has no say, and yet the consequences for his life are lifelong.
That's true, but if he'd taken precautions in the first place, he wouldn't have a baby. So men have to just use their brains rather than what's in their pants.
Absolutely. And look, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of reckless men and plenty of responsible women out there. And of course, not all women get pregnant as a career choice. That was a sample of a study that I was quoting. Like, look at Liz Jones at the Daily Mail. She famously stole the sperm from her husband's condom. She violated his choice about fatherhood, and that could have changed his life forever.
Yeah, and unauthorized use of a man's DNA should be illegal.
Yeah.
Have you been hurt? No, I'm not. What is it? What started this off? Is this a big revenge trip?
What the
Well, that's not good. Who even says things like that?
He's an imbecile.
The man makes well-reasoned, valid points, and they respond with shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. This is a simple example of how men get lambasted for straying from masculine norms.
Yeah, that's fair. No, not at all. Look, this is just about me being a young man in the modern world. After 50 years of feminism, I am one of the products of that.
Fact.
As a young man entering into that, politically, it's just not viable.
So you would never get married?
No. Well, I would do if the laws changed. If I was protected in equal measure to perhaps the woman I'd marry, then I would consider it. But at the moment, I mean, let's be honest, marriage is a contract. It's a business deal. And I wouldn't enter into any contract without reading the terms and conditions and being aware of the risk.
Sadly, we're all a product of feminism because it dictates the social and political narrative.
Subvert the patriarchy.
Marriage is a business deal, but the terms don't favour men. If she commits paternity fraud, for example, what can you do?
Nothing!
Here's some lawyers offering good advice on marriage.
53% of marriages end in divorce in New York State. Wow. You buy a house, they make you fill out 50 forms explaining that you understand the lead paint disclosures, you understand the loan, you understand everything. You get married, you don't even get a pamphlet. You don't even get a piece of paper that says, oh, by the way, you just did the most legally significant thing other than dying you'll ever do. The fact that you're entering into this significant legal contract, but most people have zero idea what's actually involved in that contract and spend a lot more time figuring out what kind of cake we should have at the event, is a really strange thing to me. Take marriage seriously.
And most of those divorces are initiated by who, I wonder?
Good question.
Some men will sacrifice their happiness for their family. Some ladies will sacrifice their family for their happiness. I think I got that right.
What?
If you want to be with a person who is social and very outgoing, then don't marry someone who is a homebody.
And if you must marry, try to pick someone with the same values, goals, ambitions, and crucially, expectations. Because expectations are the biggest destroyer of marriage.
One of the most important conversations you need to have with your partner before getting married is about your finances. Doing a prenup forces the couple to have a conversation. With a prenuptial agreement, there is mandatory financial disclosure. Most people are out there making their own money, and by the time they get married, they have their own bank accounts and, student loans or credit card debts. And those are all sort of important things to know about the person that you're going to marry.
Shut up!
This is good advice because many couples don't even discuss money before getting married.
He ain't lying.
This should always include a financial disclosure to reveal all hidden debt, because her liabilities will become your liabilities.
I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but she's not messing with...
Oh my God!
Who isn't she messing with?
What a lot of us are looking for in someone to date is very different than what we're looking for in someone to marry.
You damn right.
I've had so many clients who, for example, their boyfriend or girlfriend has a job that is so cool to have a boyfriend or girlfriend doing. But think about what it's going to be like to be married to someone in that position. A chef who works really long hours late into the night. A person who travels for business and is on the road, 45 weeks of the year. What makes for a good boyfriend or girlfriend and what makes for a good spouse or partner, especially if you want to have kids, is a tremendously different thing much of the time.
Bingo.
The mother of your children is one of the greatest investments you'll ever make for yourself and your future offspring. Do not get this wrong.
Hell no!
Because if you do, you'll regret it to the very end of your days.
When you represent people in divorce, you see good people at their worst. So I've seen, stay-at-home moms who, in the middle of a courtroom, throw something at their spouse.
What?
Well, this isn't surprising in the least.
Motherfucker.
Regardless of how alpha a man you are, you'll be a total quote-unquote beater once that gavel comes down in family court.
My dad once told me that he loves my mom more than he loves me.
Aww.
And I was like, oh, completely unprompted. I was like, okay, thanks. Okay, cool. And then he was like, well, you know, because your mom gave me you, so of course I love her more. And I was like, oh, I guess that's kind of sweet. And then I thought about it, and I was like, Mom does not feel that way about you.
Yeah, obviously.
Love. A temporary insanity curable by marriage. And just a quick comment on the voice. I'm not using the text-to-speech because I think it's becoming overused across all areas of social media. It also doesn't allow me to sing. Girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls, they want to have fun.
Sounds like you have mental problems, man.